Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the Demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, Demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert,
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it. And good afternoon. Man, I didn't realize I was starting off as Statler and Waldorf from the Muppet Show. They're terrible. Or maybe I was the Swedish Chef. Put the spaghetti in the noodles into the sauce. I couldn't decide if I was veering towards Bill Cosby there for a second. Yeah, it was like kind of a Swedish Chef, like Swedish Chef doing Bill Cosby. And then to go in to put the pudding in the pudding pops. That really wasn't either one. That was terrible is what that was. Man, we are off to a raucous start here on the Patrick Netherton Show, right here on 1130 The Tiger. We welcome you in. It is a Friday afternoon, which means buckle your seatbelts, everybody. There's no telling what's going on with this show. I mean, already we're, as we all know, we're kind of different. We know that. I think everyone knows that. But today, Friday, could be a little bit crazier, as it always is. Because here's the thing. I'm already 1 foot in Dallas, which is weird because Dallas is still like 200 miles from here, so that's a long foot. I'm just seeing how long before Greg comes racing down here to, it was dead air. It was silence. Just relax, everybody. We're okay. I bought me a drink with my watch today, which always cracks Rogers up. He loves when I buy drinks with my watch. Bought me a drink with my watch today. So we're good. Rogers, here's what's even better for all the people out there. Everyone today is behind J.B. Holmes, not in front of him. Always much rather be. Hey, there he was. He made an appearance, boss man. Clearly listening to the show this morning. Is it this morning? It's this afternoon. I have no idea what's going on. I have had a hell of a day, Raj. And the crazy thing is I haven't really done that much, but there's just been a lot of stuff going on. Like this morning I woke up and my buddy David, who's been in town all week from Indianapolis, driving back to Indianapolis this morning, so he left at 8. Right? So, and I told him, I said, look, make sure I'm awake before you leave. I want to say bye, going to give you a hug, wish you well, that kind of stuff. We had a good week, Raj. We had a really good week. We had a great time. So I said, I want to make sure I want to wish you off or whatever. And then I had to drive to Natchitoches to handle some business. Had to do some things down in Natchitoches that I couldn't get done in Shreveport. So I had to make a morning trek down to Natchitoches. And then came back. Well, now as I come back, I've got limited time to try to get ready, get packed. There we go again. I had limited time to get ready, get packed, get ready to leave. So I'm going to Dallas for a week. Again, to all would-be thieves, feel free to steal anything in my house you like. None of it's all that valuable. So I decided I was getting ready to leave town. I go ahead and leave. I'm getting ready to leave town. I'm packing everything. Raj, I get halfway to the studio. I had to go by Walgreens and pick up my medication because I wouldn't have had any medication to take with me. And then I was trying to broker a deal to save some money on one med, and They had another one that just came in that was actually delayed, but they had just gotten it. So could I hang on for? I'm looking at my watch. I'm going, Hambone's about to shoot me. Like it's like 2:15, and I'm over here. I'm still over here on the south part of town. So I'm looking at the watch, and I'm like, okay. Well, luckily I got everything. I'd gotten everything packed, got everything in the car, got my meds. I take off. I'm hoofing it on over I-20, and then I go, uh-oh. Did I remember socks? And what about those hanging clothes that I had? Did I remember those? And because I travel so much, Raj, I put things in the same spot in my bag. Like my socks always go in the back middle part of the bag. My underwear always goes in first, then shorts, and then T-shirts. Then I put my CPAP on top of everything, and then I put my DOP kit with all my toiletries and everything on top of that. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, did I put my socks in the back? Like, because I'll take like 10 pairs of socks. Even for a 2-day trip, I'll take 10 pairs of socks. I'm like, did I take my socks? I can't recall. And no, I sure didn't. I don't remember, because I would remember putting the socks in the back. Nope, never did. Wait, what about my hanging? Well, I know I didn't do my hanging shirts because they usually sit on top of my bag in the back of the truck. So I didn't bring my hanging shirts. What about my medication that I didn't have to go pick up that I had at the house, like my aspirin and stuff? Nope, forgot that too. Well, all right. So luckily I have a saint of a mother. I call her up. I'm like, hey, can you, will you do me a huge favor? She's like, sure, if I can do it, absolutely. Can you run by my house and pick up my socks and my hanging clothes and bring them to the station? Yep. On her way. My sainted mother, Raj, making things happen. And so that way, I don't have to go all the way back to South Shreveport before I turn around and go west over to Dallas. So I'm trying to pay bills, and it's a whole thing. Now I got something in my eye. Raj, it's a hell of a day at sea, sir. Oh, it's unbelievable.
No, this is.
I literally haven't looked at or watched a bit of sports in the last 2 days.
Wow.
Like last night, my buddy David and I, we weren't watching sports. We're watching What's Up With That, like every episode of What's Up With That from Saturday Night Live. We were watching Debbie Downer. We were watching some Portlandia that he likes.
Yeah.
We were watching we were watching everything but the stuff that I should be paying attention to. So all I know is everybody's behind J.B. Holmes, and that's the best place to be for everybody. You don't want to be in front of that guy. But right now, everybody's behind J.B. Holmes. And Raj, my two favorites are in the lead at the British Open. Not my two favorites as in these were the guys I thought would win, but two of my favorite guys on tour are winning. J.B. Holmes, who, much like me, Rogers, is kind of a chubby, bearded guy. No, he's definitely not like me in other ways. Or I'm not like him in other ways. Although I don't know for J.B. Holmes. I just know for his namesake. And Shane Lowry, also a chubby, bearded guy. Raj, I am all about J.B. Holmes and Shane Lowry duking it out for the British Open. By the way, while you weren't looking, Lee Westwood has snuck up there. As I recall, Westwood still doesn't have a major. At one point, he was the old, best player to never have won a major guy. Westwood's up there. I'd love to see Lee Westwood win the thing. That'd be a cool story. I'd love to see Shane Lowry win it. I'd love to see J.B. Holmes win it. I'd love to see Lee Westwood win. I don't care about Tommy Fleetwood winning it. Doesn't he have to go back to Stevie Nicks, sing some songs? Don't they have Rhiannon to sing at some point in time? Was that after they broke up? That was while they were still together, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know my complete history of Fleetwood Mac breakups. Justin Rose is in the hunt at 6 under. Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth are 5 under. Raj, did you see Eric Van Ruyen's pants yesterday? He's wearing those tight cuffed pants at the bottom that look like if he got capri pants that were a little too long or regular pants that were a little too short. And it's one of those deals where, you feel like it's going to be cold or maybe wet or something. So you have those pants that you can Velcro the bottoms of them to try to keep the moisture out or keep the cool out or whatever. It looked like he just sort of Velcroed the cuffs of his pants. He had the high pants. He was ready for a flood in Northern Ireland. Eric Van Ruyen. He's 4 under. Roger's favorite guy, Lucas Biergarten, 4 under. The guy I like, Tony Finau. I thought Finau would have a good tournament. He's 4 under. Patrick Reed, John Rahm, Matt Kuchar, whole bunch of dudes. But the top of the leaderboard's okay. I kind of like where it's at. I ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it at all. Anyway, this is the Patrick Netherton Show is what this is, right here on 1130 The Tiger. And my sainted mother is on her way to bring me socks and hanging clothes. And, of course, Raj, in true mother fashion, and I would expect you do this with Lauren because you're her mother.
Yeah.
Well, do you need any of these shoes that are here? Do you need any of these? What about this medication that's over here? Like, do you need any of these shirts that are? No, I got everything else.
I just need
shirts.
my
and the
hanging
hanging
shirts.
clothes.
Yeah, hanging clothes and my socks.
That's right. My socks and my hanging clothes. That's what I need. Oh, well, should I check the front door to make sure it's locked? No, I locked the front door. Like, just make sure that whatever door you go in, make sure you lock it back.
Out.
Make sure you lock it on the way back out. That's all you need. High Rail asks, is JD American? I'm assuming you mean JB Holmes. Yes. He is all man. All American man. That JB Holmes. Very excited, by the way, for JB Holmes. I'd love to see him win it. He's one of those guys that's always seems like a good dude. Seems like one of those guys that's easy to root for. I would love to see JB Holmes come away with the win in the British Open. That would be cool. We know who it's not going to be, Rogers. Not going to be your favorite golfer. Oh, man. Did you hear what he said, Raj, today?
No.
I just want to go home. By the way, and would you like me to really make you mad? I mean, I know it's Friday, so I feel like I shouldn't. But at the same time, this paragraph, I literally just pulled this story up. After playing just 2 rounds in the past month, Tiger Woods said he needs a break and will head back to Florida to rest up for the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs. No, Raj, that's not the part, although I knew you would enjoy that. It's the next 2 words, Raj. An admirable 1 under par 70. That included bogeys on the final 2 holes at Royal Portrush on Friday. And a disappointing end to the Open in the major season for Woods, who after the jubilation of winning the Masters in April has played just 4 tournaments with little success. An admirable 1 under par 70. See, this is the kind of language that pisses people off, like Rogers, who already don't really like Tiger Woods and don't really want to buy into the redemption story that everyone else wants to buy into. So when people like, this is Bob Herrig, who's a senior writer for ESPN, and it's somewhat of it's not a straight news story here. It's kind of an opinion thing. But at the same time, what's admirable about a 1 under par 70? Like, why is that admirable in some way? You know what? You posted your score. You know what was admirable? Admirable was David Duval sticking around to talk to the media after he fired a 119 yesterday. By the way, what did he do today? I just thought about that. I mean, did he move? Okay, here's the thing, Raj. I haven't looked. Did David Duval move out of last? I'm saying, what do you think? Do you think he did? If you had to guess, do you think he's still dead last? All right. Remember, he had a 91 yesterday. Yeah, pretty ridiculous. Raj, he came back strong today. 78. Sub 80. Yeah. But was dead last in the field by 13 shots. Ahead of an amateur named Thomas Thurlaway and Miguel Angel Jimenez. Oh, Raj. Tom Lehman. Remember Tom Lehman was was doing okay? 78-76. Whoop. Emiliano Grillo. Adam Scott. Adam Scott is, let's see, they don't even put the scores once they're cut. So let me do a quick, it was par 71, so he's 9 over. Adam Scott, 9 over. Whew. Phil Mickelson. Raj, who won out of Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods? Who beat who? Yeah, Tiger did. Phil finished 8 over. Tiger finished 6 over. Actually, 1 under par today, which among all the people that got cut, his was the best round. Only one person who got cut so far that I'm looking at. 2 people. 3. Dang. Did you see what Rory did today? I'm just kind of I'm stream of consciousness right now, but Rory, after going 8 over yesterday, 6 under today, still got cut. Didn't make it. So Northern Ireland's own not hanging out for the weekend. Guys got the course record, and hey, 65 today. I mean, that's getting it. 6 under. Unfortunately, yesterday was too much for him. And Raj, right in on the number. Such luminaries as Francesco Molinari, Jason Kokrak. I love Kokrak, by the way. It's better than mispronouncing his name is with a short O, as opposed to Kokrak. See, if you say it with the short O. Actually, the funny thing is, by the rules of the English language, it should be a short O there because it's KR behind it, so it shouldn't be a long O. But it is Kokrak, by the way. Yes, not something else. Bubba Watson, Charlie Hoffman, Yuki Inamori, Nino Bertasio, In Chun Huang, Eddie Pepperell. Anyway, nobody cares about any of these guys. Louis Oosthuizen. But the leader, very excited, J.B. Holmes, Shane Lowry. Cookie Man says, what happened to David Duval? He was number 1 and tearing it up on tour. Basically what happened to David Duval is he got hurt, back problems. And interestingly, David Duval, he lost a whole bunch of weight. He was kind of chubby for a while, and then he got real skinny. And he stopped playing well once he got real skinny. He kind of put a little bit of weight back on, and then he got better again, and then it all fell apart again. It just, his was an issue with his back, much like Tiger. The Tiger's a guy who's going to be relegated to about 10 tournaments a year at most. He's going to play the 4 majors. He's probably going to play a tune-up or 2 before the majors and the FedEx tournament at the end. And that's probably where you're going to be with Tiger Woods. He's no longer going to be a guy that plays 15, 20 tournaments a year. This is a guy who's going to play 10. Play the 4 majors. He'll play, the week before or the week before that, probably 2 weeks before most of the majors. So, and then he'll play the FedEx Cup. So you're probably looking at about 10 to 12 events from now until he finishes. And the interesting thing is, it's incredibly difficult not to think, okay, well, he's got a chance in every tournament he tees it up in, because the Masters victory was so out of nowhere that it makes you think, if he had not won the Masters, I think we would have looked at this whole year and said, well, it's he's probably done. Like it's, maybe not a lot of hope. He seemed like he played better a little bit here and there, but just wasn't good enough for long enough. But the fact that he won the Masters, now it's like, okay, well, he's going to, every time he tees one up, it's going to be, okay, well, he's got a chance to win it. You just don't know when his back will be okay, when his swing will be good, when his the mental side of his game will be good. There's a lot of stuff going on with Tiger Woods now. But the one thing I do like is he does seem to he brings his kids with him. He does seem to be a much more active parent than we've seen before. And I like seeing that about him. I do like the fact that he does seem to be a lot more human than we've ever seen from him. What's going on in his personal life? He was dating the GM or the manager, or the president or whatever of his restaurant. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but, I appreciate a guy who hit, in his case, the lowest of lows and seems to have bounced back a better person for it. And that's what I appreciate. Whether he wins another tournament or not, I hope he at least turns into or has become a better person for what he's gone through. Maybe he's not. Maybe his very carefully cultivated public image is still what it is, and it's a lie. We don't know, but I certainly hope so. Did you do the Johnny's Buffet today, Raj? Oh, look at you. I wish I could have.
Well, and I got there, and I realized that wasn't what I wanted. I
hate that.
I was about 2 pieces in, and I was like, oh, man, this is not what I wanted to eat at all.
Did you just put them back and be like, hey, can y'all just give me my money back, please?
I licked them and then put them back on the buffet.
As one does.
But it was just one of those, I was like 2 pieces in, I went, oh, man, this is not the flavor my belly was wanting. So I had about 1 more piece and left.
Yeah.
It was just really weird, man. You sitting there like,
318 texts me and says, this show sucks. All right. Can't disagree with you at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a good guest coming in, though.
Yeah.
Chris J. from the...
You think this show sucks?
Yeah. The Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau. I think I got that right. Chris J. is going to join us. I just want to talk to him about kind of what's going on in Shreveport Bossier. And also Rogers sucks too, according to this particular texter. So, I'm not going to tell you to turn the channel, but you don't have to listen to it. Just saying. It is a free country. We do not have anyone forcibly making you listen to the Patrick Netherton Show.
Yeah.
Go get your poker and fantasy football fix somewhere else, or go listen to whatever. By the way, he just wrote in and said he's kidding. It's Cupcake.
Well, that guy sucks.
Yeah, now you talk about sucking.
You talk about sucking.
That's right.
That guy sucks as big as anybody knows how to suck.
Sucks eggs, Raj.
Oh, my gosh, does he suck.
Yeah, there you go. He's listening in West Monroe, so cool. Good to see you, Cupcake. And thanks for sucking so much that Rogers looks amazing by comparison. A lot of ways to get in touch with the show. You can call us at 318-320-1130, 318. Oh, by the way, I do want to pass on congrats to Cupcake. He's now the sports director over in Monroe. So big congrats to him for that, man.
He's in charge of the number 2 sports station in town.
Hey, regardless, man, to go from...
there's only 2.
Right. But hey, as my mom told me
who does number 2 work for?
As my mom told me one time, I finished second in a race. She goes, there were only 2 people racing, but I still finished second. I was like, yeah, well, hey, that's right. It's better. It'd be rough if you finish third. As I think I saw a joke not too long ago. Rogers is so slow. How slow is he? Rogers is so slow. He raced a pregnant lady and came in third. It's a pretty good joke. I'm not going to lie. I heard that the other day. It did make me chuckle. Although, how could you have come in second? Like, did the mom give birth and the baby just laid there and you finished second? Like, could you have, like, how could you finish second between the baby and the mother? You can't. There's no physical way to do that. So, nevertheless, it still made me laugh. High Rail says, can't you do the show from Dallas? Well, yeah. Do I want to do the show from Dallas? No. Man, it's the end of July. I want a week off. Rogers wants a week off. Somebody hashtag free Rogers Hampton, everybody. We need Hambone, get him a week off. Yeah, so next week it's going to be no show from me. At least I won't be here. I'll be in Dallas all week, not doing any shows. But I've told folks that what I am going to be doing, Raj, next week is I'm going to be hitting up all the SIDs. I'm going to be hitting up some of my buddies. I'm going to get a lot of guests lined up for August. Again, my goal, and I don't know if I'm going to hit it, but I'm going to damn well try. I want to have a coach from every Division I school in the state of Louisiana. From LSU all the way down, I want to get a coach from one of those schools. High Rail says Rogers never takes a vacation. Not for a lack of wanting to. You know, when you're working in the salt mines for Deer Leader, you know, it can be tough sometimes. Deer Leader requires his salt every day. You know, when you're the only one that's shoveling the coal into the furnace around here, you're irreplaceable. Can't nobody else come in here and shovel the coal into the furnace. That doesn't work. Anyway, 320-1130 is the phone number. If you want to text us, 6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. You can follow along on Twitter. Raj, you never put the picture up, did you? I tried, folks. I tried to get, because there's the thing. You have a public that would like to see old school Rogers Hampton that are on Twitter that are not friends or allowed to be friends with you on Facebook.
It's like I told you, it's one of those deals. Twitter for me is more business and stuff I'm thinking about business-wise or sport-wise.
Yeah, but you're in the business of looking good back in, like, 1991 or whatever that is. Do you have a feeling on what date that was, like what year that was? Do you have
It had to be 90, 91, 92, something like that. It had to be. And it was definitely wintertime because I had on my flannel shirt. So,
well, how about this? Can I post it, or would you rather me not
I'd
post
rather you
it?
not.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to. Look, that's what I'm saying. I'm not big on posting pictures of other people unless I get permission.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, because I'm not just going to go post it.
It's like when I did the week before with Chris Blair. To me, that crossed into the professional job thing because he was here in the studio and live on the air with us, and
he was both of those things.
Yes, and it also crossed personal since I'm an LSU fan, so that's why I shared that one on both, because I felt like it covered the personal aspect of me, and hey, my friends want to see I'm hanging out with Chris Blair, and then people professionally, hey man, Chris Blair was in the KWK studio.
Oh my gosh,
man,
how did that happen?
I know.
Who knows that guy? If you want to find us, you can follow along on Twitter. He's at HeyBoyRogers, even though he won't tweet his amazing Throwback Thursday photo, even on Throwback Friday, which he had kind of I don't know if you consider like his curly mullet style hair a fro. It kind of was fro-y a little bit. So you can find him there. The show page is at Netherton Show. I'm at PT Netherton. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Netherton Show. You can watch if you like. We do a Facebook Live every day. Facebook Live going on right now. Roger's hand is in the shot. Sorry, I'm sharing the video right now of our Facebook Live. And download the app. Also a great way to follow along with the Patrick Netherton Show. Download the app. It is fantastic. Just go to Google Play. Or you can hang out in the iTunes store, the App Store, whatever. Download 1130 The Tiger. Ladies and gentlemen, that man over there.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. And in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy. Now, that was another one that seemed like it was longer than normal.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's so strange. It's the same length every day, but some days it seems like those little munchkins take longer to finish it off.
It's like watching it's a watched pot, Rob.
So hour and a half till freedom, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting
You're
close.
watching that clock like a...
I am. I'm wondering if I make the first segment 45 minutes, will I get out faster? No, because we got Chris J coming in studio to join.
I like it when we have people in studio.
I'm excited, man. Chris is. If you don't follow along with Chris, he does a blog, the 20 by 49, which is a great name for a Shreveport blog, I-2949. He does a 20 by 49 where he kind of keeps you abreast of all the goings on, openings and closings, things of that nature. He works for the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau, a guy that knows a lot. And I just kind of want to pick his brain, not only about stuff that's going on here, in the next couple of weeks, but I also just want to pick his brain about where Shreveport is going. It seems like we have a lot more stuff than we used to have, things like GeekCon that Greg Adams, our boss man, came up with. Should I start calling him the Big Boss Man, like the wrestler? Ooh. Big Boss Man? Even though Greg's not that big a dude. I mean, he's bigger than Rogers, but But then again, like 90% of the population is bigger than Rodgers. He's not. I wouldn't call Greg's not fat. Like Greg's just sort of stout. Yeah. But I might call him the big boss man, and then hope he doesn't come down here with the nightstick and take me down like the big boss man used to. So, you got things like GeekCon. We have the film prize and the music prize and all this stuff. It seems like we have like arts and culture wise. It seems like we're in a lot bigger place, lot better place in Shreveport than we have been. So. That's just where I want to go. Hey, let's take a quick break because Mom's here to deliver my stuff. So let's let me go
and
take care of her.
The song probably fits your mental stability here.
Oh, do they?
You're just about already gone.
Oh, I'm already gone. No doubt. Take a break. It's Patrick Netherton Show.
Well, I heard some people talking just the other day.
New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline is engineered with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. It's sort of like having ninjas protect your engine. That helps keep your engine running like new. New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. It's fuel for thought in engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
I can't remember when he didn't smoke. He would go outside. I'd be bored.
My wife was the key driver into me getting away from it and switching. I think I have gotten a piece of my life back when I started with Jewel.
He uses Jewel in the house whenever he wants.
It worked magically.
Roy made the switch in 2017. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com. Jewel Labs compensated this individual for their time and expenses in providing this testimonial. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
With the Discover It Miles card, you can go further than you've ever gone before. Like sun on your face, book in your hand, kids playing in the sand further. Because the Discover It Miles card offers unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase and will automatically match all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. So that means your 35,000 miles could become 70,000. It's just that easy. So get out there with your Discover It Miles card today. Limitations apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with Pill Reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
At JCPenney, when the sun's out, the sale's on. Friday through Sunday, grab sizzling savings across the store. Like 60% off select swimwear for her, and 40 to 50% off select shorts and tees for him and her. Plus, take an extra 20% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Check the app wallet for more savings. Hurry in for the hottest summer deals for 3 days only at JCPenney. Offers valid 7/19 to 7/21. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. See store at jcp.com for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts offers O-Rewards points in-store and online. Earn points on everything from replacement parts to tools and accessories. And for every 150 points collected, you'll get a $5 reward. Earn points any way you shop. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Exxon and Mobil present How to Be Supremium. First, fill your tank with Exxon and Mobil's Supremium Fuel. New Synergy Supreme Plus. It keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. Then get the rest of your car 2 times cleaner. My horn is so clean it squeaks. Sorry about that. So clean your engine with new Exxon and Mobil Synergy Supreme Plus. It's supreme. It's premium. It's Supremium. Fill up today or go to Exxon.com for details.
Synergy Supreme Plus gas compared to Synergy regular gas and poor fuel injected engines. Benefits based on continuous use and may vary.
Target Drive Up is the world's fastest Target run. It's like a pit stop without those tire changing noises. We bring your order right out to your car door. Just choose Drive Up in the Target app, and when you're ready, drive up, and we'll bring your order right out. All squeezed out of sunscreen? Drive up. Time for a new grill? Drive up. Need some floaties on your way to the pool? Drive up. Just order what you need and we'll have it ready whenever you are. It's easy and free with no minimum order. Drive up and then drive off. Target run and done.
11:30 The Tiger, Shreveport's home for sports.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Uh-oh, Raj. Oh, I love this song. It's my ringtone, as a matter of fact. Yeah, play keyboard up on the wall. Air keyboard on the wall, everybody. Again, if you've never seen the video for Separate Ways by Journey, go see it. Look it up right now. It is worth the price of admission, which is $0, by the way. Yeah, this is my ringtone on my phone forever and ever. Right now, it's the Star Wars Cantina thing. But here's the thing. Who has their, besides Rogers, who has their phone on loud anyway? Like, my phone's always on silent. I can't tell you the last time I had my phone ringer turned on. Like, it's just on silent because most of the time I'm wearing a watch and my watch dings me. Raj, we have something. Trey and Dubach is not happy, Raj, on the text line. That's right. 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426 is the text line. Chris J. from the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau will join us momentarily. Trey and Dubach, Raj, texted in this. Please stop that stupid Lollipop Guild song. You can't understand a bit of it. I can't believe it means that much to Rogers.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. And in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
All right.
Those are the lyrics. All right. A, have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? B, Rogers, Trey just wrote in and said, whatever you do, don't give Patrick all the money in your wallet right now. He said, you clearly... You said don't tell you not to do something. So he obviously just wrote in, Raj, and said, whatever you do, don't give Patrick all the money in your wallet.
Well, that won't be too hard since there's not a dime in my wallet.
No, Trey didn't. That was obviously me trying to get money out of your wallet.
Yeah.
Trey said that one, and then he ha, 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 ha. So there you go. Yeah, here's the thing. Tell Rogers not to do something and just watch it happen. Whatever you do, Raj, don't go cash it. Don't give me a check in the name of cash for $100. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Raj is that's Raj to a T, baby. You tell him, you come at him with some negativity and you don't like something. Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
It's happening, sweetheart.
There is no doubt about it. Yeah,
that's
but the
good
lyrics,
stuff.
The lyrics are actually very simple. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land. That's it. That's the lyrics. Now, as Rogers says, sometimes it feels like they sing it really slow. There's some days when it feels like the Lollipop Guild takes a while to get their dang song out. But did they have names, by the way? Were they just unnamed Lollipop Guild members, or did any of them have names?
No, I don't think they had names. I think the mayor was the only one they addressed. I'm the mayor of Munchkin Land, but I don't think they ever specifically said names of any of the Munchkins, who are all now gone.
Yeah. Let's see. What were the names of the Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz? The singer midgets.
Okay.
Portrayed.
The singer midgets.
I don't know what that is. Portrayed the Munchkins in MGM's The Wizard of Oz, including the mayor, the coroner. The coroner?
Remember, he had to declare the witch dead.
Oh, yeah. I declare her dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where she's most clearly dead, most nearly dead.
Yeah. The mayor, the coroner, the Lollipop Guild, or the Lollipop Kid, the Lullaby Girl.
Yeah.
The Sleepyhead, the Violin Man, and the Munchkin Soldier.
So no real names, just adjectives for them.
Yeah. That's that's something else. The Munchkins.
Mr. Know-it-all.
You're quite welcome. They're the shortest tribe in all the land of Oz, mostly high-spirited despite their size, and are content with their lives. They're the wealthiest and healthiest race of Ozians in all of Oz. But while the first book does state that the Munchkins were scarcely taller than Dorothy, in later books they are mainly depicted to be as tall as anyone else. One tall Munchkin of note is the soldier with the green whiskers, a.k.a. Ambi Ambi, or one to win battles. It is, Raj, it is also worth remembering that Nick Chopper, a.k.a. the Tin Woodsman, is usually depicted as the height of a normal adult. He's actually a Munchkin. Did you know that the Tin Woodsman is actually a Munchkin? And his name is Nick Chopper? Should it be like Wood Chopper? Oh my gosh. Why am I here? What are you people doing to me today? Why are you making me look up the names of the Munchkins?
Well, we knew when it started that it was going to be a crooked.
Ugh. This is something else. The Munchkins mainly raise richly abundant crops and successful vegetable gardens, and are known as some of the most talented people in Oz when it comes to growing crops, as farming runs in their Munchkin blood. Therefore, the Munchkins are naturally born with green thumbs. Most of them own their own land, which they turn into large fields of stocks that stretch out for many miles across the land. They're known for their happiness, gentleness, and hospitality, welcoming anyone who visits the land in the east, where they live in peace and harmony. Doesn't sound like Raj, actually. The more I read about this, the less they grow things well, and they're happy people. That doesn't seem like Raj. Oh, and by the way, they live in the eastern quadrant of Oz, known as Munchkin County, which I'm pretty sure is the street that Rogers lives on, Munchkin County Street. High Rail says, I'm 51 and I've never worn a watch. I turn my phone off at 5 p.m. Now, Rogers turns his phone off at 5:01 pretty much. Yeah. Trey says, I didn't really want to know them. No names, please. I can think of a few names for them. Oh, God, save us. Kill me, Billy. The Tin Man is juicing, and I'm sorry, listening audience, I didn't know. That's what you get, man. You start bringing this stuff up, and my weird curiosity takes over.
Yeah, you don't have any idea.
318 said they're hobbits. Yeah, but they don't have the big feet with the hair. They don't have the big hairy feet. Like they have little tiny features.
Yeah, they're Munchkins.
Hobbits have big feet. Like hobbits have feet that are larger than an adult male.
Yeah.
But they're just smaller people. Cajun Rob says they're growing marijuana crops because they're all high. No, they're short. They're low. They're not high at all. They're Munchkins. They're low.
You got to remember, all around that place was poppy fields.
Yeah, exactly. No, the Munchkins are low. They're not high. Everyone needs to remember this. I hope Chris J's listening and wondering what the hell he's getting himself into. Doing? Yeah. And yes, everyone, you want to blame someone, blame Trey and Dubach, because he's the one who got me started on this. And when my weird curiosity starts taking over and I start Googling things, that's when you find out that the Tin Man is actually a Munchkin. Didn't know that. Had no idea. But there you go. That is unbelievable. By the way, Dorothy was 12, or no older than 12 when she made the and the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodsman are only a few inches taller than Dorothy, who's about 12. Even though both the Scarecrow and the Tin Man in the movie were really tall. Put 'em up, put 'em up. Sorry, man. I never forget, though, because I was still a kid when I first saw The Wizard of Oz. I'll never forget how awesome it was when it went from black and white to color. That was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. And then to realize that, because I was a kid. I was more amazed by the colors and the characters than I was paying attention to everything. And so it took me a while to realize, maybe years to realize, that the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow were all people that had been on her farm when she was in Kansas, and were regular people. Like, it took me a while to figure that out. And was it all a dream, Raj? Was it all a dream? Did she just hit her head and she just dreamt the whole thing? All I know is Rogers is all about living in Munchkin County from now on. That's Rogers' new. If he can find Munchkin County, he's living there. No doubt about it. Well, there you go, everyone. You can thank Trey in Dubach for your lesson in Munchkin Land for today's show. And will Rogers play the Munchkin Land song again? He's trying real hard not to right now, I can tell you. Just understand that it might happen yet again. 318 said this segment is a dream or a nightmare, depending on who you ask. Chris J is going to join us at the top of the hour. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Shreveport-Bossier. He is, number one, he's also a really good food critic. So if you're looking for some good food recommendations, he would be a guy to turn to. We're going to talk about some of the new restaurants that have come into town, some of the things that he's excited about around town. If you have recommendations that you would like to make, or places maybe you want him to go try out, or maybe, feel free. We're a lot of the 4 o'clock hour is going to be just us talking about food and Shreveport and all that stuff. I don't know how much sports we're going to talk about today. I mean, what sports are there to talk about? Did the Astros win last night, Raj? They did? Good for them. Astros are rolling again. They've got 61 wins.
So they went 4-4 on the road trip, which
just as win them all at home and split on the road.
That's the numbers you want. If you can split it road, even though they are a great road team the last few seasons.
Yeah.
You can just play 500 ball on the road, and it was against both division opponents. Now they're back again at Minute Maid Park tonight for another weekend series with those Rangers. So last weekend at Arlington for the last time ever, unless there's a playoff game, and then Texas Rangers at Minute Maid Park this weekend.
Those dastardly Rangers.
I know.
Let's take a break, shall we? Short people got no reason. They got beady little eyes, tiny little hands. Trey and Dubach, this is a shout-out to Rogers from you, or from Rogers to you.
No reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live.
You look out the door, you see the behemoth sitting out there in the yard.
That's me.
The big rusty metal thing.
Oh.
The scary thing that makes all the crazy noises.
Oh, people's broken down air conditioners?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that problem because we've got AccuTemp taking care of ours. And here's the deal. If you have a rusty behemoth in your yard and it's not me, it very well could be time for you to call AccuTemp and get ready for the summer. AccuTemp, 861-2255.
This week, find great deals at Walgreens. Now, all 12-pack soft drinks are 3 for $9.99 with card. And select varieties of Tide Simply Clean laundry detergent are $1.95 with coupon and card. Get great deals on the everyday essentials you need, right here at your neighborhood Walgreens. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. While supplies last, restrictions and exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
I've got great news. Mortgage interest rates have dropped. So if you're thinking about buying a home, right now is the time to lock that low rate, even before you find the home of your dreams. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
What do you call a truly great beer that's brewed with more taste? Only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs? We call it Miller Lite. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true. Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis 12 fluid ounces, less than 1 gram protein and 0 grams fat.
I was a pack-a-day smoker for 33 years. You could see the look in their eye, like they recognized the smell on you, and you just die a little inside because you knew you offended someone. Since I switched to Juul, I don't even think twice about it. It's like a weight lifted off of you.
Stacy made the switch in 2016. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com. Juul Labs compensated this individual for their time and expenses in providing this testimonial. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
You may not notice it's a protein bar. Dark chocolate and crunchy peanuts will do that. Plus, they'll get your family moving again.
Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving.
Nature Valley Peanut Butter Dark Chocolate Protein Bars.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate. But you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume. Like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
It's back to school, and Target has jeans starting at $8 and tees starting at $4 for every school list. Target's got all your kids' favorite styles of jeans. Skinny, straight cut, jeggings, flares, and more. All starting at just $8.
Good jeans for everybody.
And Target has t-shirts in all their favorite colors, starting at just $4.
Terrific!
Get jeans starting at $8 and tees starting at $4 for every school list. Low prices for back to school. At Target. Restrictions may apply.
KWKH Shreveport, Bossier City. 11:30 The Tiger, Bossier City's home for LSU sports.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Grease, huh? All right. I mean, I've still never seen this from start to finish. Yeah, I think I've seen every part of it, but just not in a row. Like, I probably have a very poor chronology of how Grease works, is all I'm saying. All right, get young John Travolta out of here. It's the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 11:30 The Tiger. We welcome you back. He's Roger Sampson. I'm Patrick Netherton, and we're very pleased to welcome in our special guest, Chris J. from the, okay.
It's a mouthful.
JJ Marshall, who's on after us, got after me because I called it the Tourism Bureau, not the Tourist Bureau, and I'm going to ask you about that in a second. So it's the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau.
You said it right. You get a prize.
So My question is, why tourist and not tourism?
You know, look, I could regale you with a whole lot of acronyms from our industry.
Yeah.
Most places, by the way, are CTBs, which are Convention and Tourist Bureaus.
Okay.
We're a CVB, which is a Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
We're technically a DMO, which is a Destination Marketing Organization.
You're a BAMF. We know that.
But yeah, it's all just a way of saying we're the people that are here to help folks who are from out of town or who are planning a trip find their way around town and find the good stuff.
Right.
I mean, all those acronyms and things. We're just friendly locals that are here to help folks find their way around.
All right, if you have any questions for Chris, if you want recommendations for anything, we got him here. Text us at 318-657-0HAM, which is a nightmare scenario, 0HAM. 318-657-0426 if you have any questions or whatnot. All right, so give me some idea of what it is you do.
So essentially, I help people get the word out about their events. And in this town, we have a lot of what I would call attractions, places like museums, art galleries. We have restaurants. We have, tour guides.
Rogers Hampton.
We have Rogers Hampton.
He's an attraction.
And people don't know enough about Rogers Hampton.
No, they don't.
But
and that's just the way he likes it.
In a lot of situations, those organizations don't have like a really robust, for example, like marketing team. It might be 2 or 3 people running an entire place, and the same person who makes sure the door's unlocked is also trying to get the word out about the upcoming big event. I'm here to help.
Right.
I mean, right now I'm working, for example, with like the Multicultural Center's fundraiser they've got coming up on the 27th, the volleyball event, the Olympic volleyball event that the Sports Commission's got coming up in August. GeekCon, I helped send out a press release and do some online marketing for that.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get people to town. In a nutshell, that's what I do, is try to get people to town.
So how do you, short of your, Twitter and Facebook and your, social media and everything, do you get a lot of people who just randomly send you an email or call and say, hey, I'm from, Arizona, I'm coming to Shreveport, what is there to do?
Yes, you would be amazed.
I am amazed.
Who some of them turn out to be. I'm thinking of a random encounter about a year ago. I'm sitting in my office. I'm working, probably doing some social media or something, and I got a page from the front desk. Someone here you might be interested in meeting. He says he's from, I believe it was St. Louis, and he's just passing through. It was Henry Miller Shreve's great-great-grandson, who had never been to Shreveport, never seen the city that bore his family's name. You know what I mean? And he's just like, where can I get something good to eat around here? And I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm standing here with Henry Miller Shreve's great-great-grandson.
Did you tell him that his great-great-grandfather also never stepped foot in Shreveport while you were at it?
I asked him if he'd seen the statue. He said yes. They had just come from there. But, you just never know who's going to call, walk in the door, email, interact with you through Facebook. Lately, I almost feel like a customer service representative on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get a lot of direct messages of people looking for everything from, a place to eat to a place to bring a conference or a family reunion, all sorts of things like that.
Are y'all technically a city group, a parish group, a state group? What are y'all technically under?
If you really want your eyes to roll back in your head, I'll give you the phrase quasi-governmental organization.
Okay, very good.
But
the old QGO, everyone knows that.
But the thing is, we're funded by a hotel motel occupancy tax.
Gotcha.
So like your taxpayer dollars don't fund the Tourist Bureau unless you stay in a hotel in Shreveport, Bossier, which most of us who are locals don't.
Well, Rogers does occasionally. That's just to get away from his old lady. He does that from time to time.
I have heard that from the staff over at Diamond Jacks.
Yeah. Rog, there's nothing Rog likes more than going out in public. I can tell you that. Talking to Chris J. Chris, so what do you then? What's maybe the most often requested thing you get? What are people really looking for? I'm guessing if I just had to guess, it's where to eat.
Yes, I would, and honestly, that sort of the cart kind of came before the horse for me because I wouldn't call myself like a quote unquote foodie when I took the job 10 years ago, because I've been working for the Tourist Bureau for about 10 years. But I just noticed right off the bat that the overwhelming majority of requests were looking for information on local cuisine.
Yeah.
So I started realizing, hey, I need to be crafting more messages about that because it appears to be obvious that's what people are looking for. But but we still our population still just about doubles downtown with people from East Texas and Central Texas on the weekends coming in to game. So I also want to make sure that I'm not just talking about food.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yes, a majority of inquiries are looking for information about where the locals eat.
So does that mean that every time you go eat somewhere, you just expense it?
No. I wish very much.
And can I have that job if that's the case?
Since you asked, what's funny? I write a blog, which is 20by49.com. It's the number 20, the letter X, the number 49.com. It's a reference to where the interstates meet.
Right.
But I get $15 a week to dine out.
There you go.
To review a place for the blog. And people often joke with me about why so many of the places I review are like cheap eats.
Right.
And I'm like, well
yeah, you only got $15. That's what you got to do.
It's like 10 days till payday.
Right. All right. So you heard my review of the McDonald's on Fairfield. Here's the review of the McDonald's online.
But in all seriousness, I think our community is really strong in the cheap eats category.
Yeah.
Like sub $10. We've got some pretty great stuff.
Yeah. Rogers will tell you the stuff in the vending machine is fantastic here at Town Square
Those
Media.
Viney Weenies. I'm telling you, man.
He loves some good crackers. All right. So one of the things, and Rogers and I were talking about this kind of in the lead up to this conversation, is it really does feel like, and I've lived in Shreveport my whole life, so has Rogers, and it really does feel like in the last, say, 5 to 7 years, we have seen an explosion in a lot of things that look, we've had chain restaurants.
Yes.
We have the Chili's and the Applebee's and things like that, but it seems like we've seen a really big explosion in local restaurants, even regional chains that maybe aren't, that aren't national, and not only just a lot of local restaurants, but a lot of local festivals, a lot of local things to do. Things like GeekCon, which has only been here for 5 years. It feels like we've seen an explosion of sort of culture in Shreveport.
I totally agree. I also think there's this wonderful kind of explosion of local pride. I mean, do you remember like 5 years ago, I don't remember anyone walking around with like 318 on their T-shirt or on a hat, or the local airport code SHV on a hat. I think it's so cool. It's like, this is a great thing to see happening. And I know just a few years ago, I mean, it would have been... I would never have imagined that you'd go out on a Friday night to Twisted Root or somewhere and see 5 guys wearing 318 shirts. You know what I mean? Like,
or go to 5 guys and see 10 guys wearing Twisted Root shirts.
Yes.
I mean,
But yeah, so I'm trying to keep up with the verbal sparring, and it's really an art here.
There's a lot going on here. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm leaving in 58 minutes. And I did have a joke. You mentioned the hats with the airport code. They're cheaper in Dallas if you want to go buy them there. By the way, oh come on, I love Mark Crawford. He's one of my friends. I love Mark, but I had to get that in there. All right, so when people. Let's say I'm coming in from Dallas. I don't know anything about Shreveport. I'm going to come in and gamble. I say, hey, where do I eat? Do you have hey, here's my, here's a link to what best places to eat? Is it I'm going to tell you everything I like? What do you do when someone hits you with that question?
If I'm emailing with them, I want to send them a digital, it's easy to email, just a link to the digital copy of a brochure we make called Eat Here, A Food Lover's Guide to Shreveport Bossier.
Okay.
I'm proud of it, and I'm shilling for it because I write it, and I photograph it, and I produce it. I do everything but do the graphic design and physically print the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really proud of it, and I'm thankful to the Tourist Bureau for letting me kind of run with that thing.
Yeah.
The Eat Here guide is sort of my Cliff's Notes to Shreveport Bossier's culinary community. But if they're just standing in front of me, like they just walked in the visitor center or they called, I want to make sure they've done some of the basics. Places like Herbie K's.
Sure.
I want to make sure if they're going to have a breakfast that maybe they get a good diner breakfast at Strawn's or at Cotton Bowl. I kind of want to give them like I want to give the basics first, and then if I feel them out that they might be interesting people, I might steer them somewhere off the beaten path, like Lucky Palace or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You kind of got to, when someone say, where should I go eat? You got to learn a little bit about them first. Like some people, if you send them to Lucky Palace first, you're going to scare the living daylights out of them. They might turn around and curse your name. You just kind of got to figure out what kind of person this is before you make those recommendations.
Yeah, it's I hesitate to tell this story because I love Lucky Palace, but I've been there a couple of times, and one of the times I went there, my lug nut cover got stolen on my truck. It's not exactly the best place to leave your car, but it's an amazing place to eat. It's one of the best restaurants in town. Yeah, I tell everyone when they ask me, I say, look, hit Superior Grill, hit Monjuni's, hit Herbie K's. That's kind of your basics. Those are, good local joints that you're not going to find really anywhere else, or the original is here. And then, you can kind of branch out from there. But then, I turn around and look, and I know you posted a deal about there's I guess, is a lady that's doing Northwest Louisiana cuisine.
Oh, yes. Chef Hardette. Chef Hardette Harris is I think she's potentially a game changer for this whole region.
Yeah.
Not just this region, but if I think specifically about the Allendale neighborhood, which has been really challenged for the last, 20 years or more.
Yeah.
She has got a little building down there that she calls Us Up North. It used to be the Fuller Center Grocery, or the Fuller Grocery in Delhi. And it's right there. Gosh, I forget what street it's on, maybe Allen. But it's right there behind the macaroni factory. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We're getting real Shreveporty.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. You go in there for lunch, and there'll be a big crowd, 30 or 40 people, white, black, rich, poor. The parking lot's full. The place is well kept. The flower beds are beautiful. It's like, this is a perfect little corner to build a new Allendale from. You know what I mean? She's really doing something great.
And I love this, and like Ono's, that went from a food truck to a brick and mortar place. I mean, everywhere you turn, something new is coming in, and that can be scary at times. But one of the things I really like about Shreveport is Shreveport, if nothing else, will pack out a new place at least for a few months. And now after that, if you don't step up, whoever's running the place, if you don't step up and make them come back, they may not. But when a place first opens, it's almost impossible to get into for a couple of months.
Right, we really do. I love that, too. We really do step up that way. That neighborhood, I guess you would call it Madison Park.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the name of a shopping center, but it's the best name we've got for it.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. I mean, I can only imagine. I think it'll be a place that younger people are really kind of clamoring to rent apartments in the next few years. I mean, you've got Key Mexico, Maryland's Place, which is, one the most popular brunch in town. You've got Ono's, which is very popular right now. Louder Baking Company. Man, I could go on and on. That one little corner is getting really cool.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was just El Chico's and Johnny's Pizza. That's all you could get there.
But it was the El Chico's with the patio.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, as Rogers can tell you, El Chico's is still my favorite Mexican restaurant. I don't, that salsa it cannot be replicated anywhere else. I love it to death. Talking to Chris J. from the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau. When you bring in folks, and we've seen now, we're getting some people, the down south, True South folks came in.
That was awesome.
Yeah, did a nice piece about Herbie K's and about Lucky Palace. We saw, and I'm gonna talk more specifically about this in a moment. The barbecue challenge from the guys from New York.
Yes, that was really funny.
Yeah, you were in it, and you and I are gonna talk about that in a second.
That was odd.
But there's a lot of, it seems like people are recognizing that, hey, even though Shreveport sometimes gets a bad reputation, and look, True South, I thought, did somewhat of a disservice by basically saying Shreveport's a town that that's built for you to leave.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like that, but I think that it also is representative of the fact that people understand, yes, we do have interesting things happening here. We do have interesting cuisine happening here. I tell folks all the time, what I love about Shreveport, big enough to have all the chain things, the big box stores, small enough that you have the local stuff, and there's not bad traffic.
I agree. I mean, completely. The report that I saw earlier this week, and I mean, I just want you to know, I don't just look at the world through rose-colored glasses. I understand Shreveport and Bossier City have got major, major challenges. But some of the stuff that I see about us just doesn't pass muster.
Yeah.
The report earlier this week that we're one of the 10 most stressed-out cities in America, it's like, I understand, we need jobs, and that is an ultimate stressor.
Yeah.
But I no matter where you live in this town, you're probably going to get to work in about 12 minutes. If you have a car, if you have a bus, if you have to ride the bus, it'll take longer. But, I can't imagine us being one of the most stressed out cities. I've been to New York. I've been to Houston. I've been to, This just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I think we get kicked around a little more than we deserve.
Yeah, and I would agree. Okay, so I want to talk about this barbecue competition that came down because I took umbrage with one major thing. Hey, I'm a barbecue snob. You follow me enough to know that. So I'm not high on barbecue in Shreveport to start with, and I freely admit that. I'm not going to name names.
I understand.
But we had the barbecue guys from Brooklyn or whatever come down, and you know, it's look, they're portraying things in a certain way. I understand that. You know, they kind of act like they're, you know, sort of big, you know, galoots or whatever, and that's kind of their deal. But I kind of took umbrage with the fact that they mentioned they were coming down to the heart of Cajun country in Shreveport. And at one point, he goes out crawfishing with a guy, which, A, it was not in the middle of crawfish season at all, so I don't know how you're going to catch anything. I think it was in the winter when it was filmed.
It was.
But, B, so he's in this boat with this guy who's taking him crawfishing, and he says, well, you know, yeah, y'all got gators out here, you know, and in his, you know, big, thick accent. And the guy's like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's some, you know, this guy knows, hey, we're not in danger of being killed by an alligator in the middle of this boat. But he goes, yeah, I guess there's some alligators out there. And then they splice in footage. I'm not kidding. They splice in footage of the gators in front of Bass Pro Shop. So you know that little concrete enclosure there that the gators at Bass Pro have? Well, so they zoomed in on the gators, but you can still see the concrete behind them. And so they're interspersing these shots of the gators at Bass Pro. And if you've ever seen the gators at Bass Pro, they really don't do anything. They just kind of sit there. Right? So they're like, oh, there are gators out here, and then they're interspersing like gators on concrete. I'm not kidding you. I laughed so hard that I almost cried. But you were in on that thing. Tell me about that.
Well, before I get into the nitty-gritty of that filming, I will say that working with reality TV, with no exception, is always a very difficult experience for me.
I bet.
You got to be very careful about how you actually end up being represented. But that particular show, and I can't remember the name, but
it's Barbecue Brawl, maybe?
Something like that.
I think it's Barbecue Brawl.
That particular show was really interesting because they were filming in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like February. It was extremely cold, and they rented an outdoor facility.
Yeah, they did
the
the Dixie Gin up in Dixie. Yeah, which by the way, my family helped to sort of renovate and get back, you know, put back on the map.
So everyone was just miserably cold. You could see their breath coming out when they were talking. But the funny thing about it is I actually voted for the local
it was Hickory
family.
Stick. I don't mind saying it was Hickory Stick.
Yeah, I voted for Hickory Stick, and I much preferred what Hickory Stick made.
Yeah.
I don't want fancy barbecue, and I feel like those guys did fancy barbecue really not great.
Yeah.
You know, it was the bread wasn't right. The I think it was pulled pork was not right, and they made these like fritters that they call beignets.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And they were not beignets.
Yeah.
And they were not good.
Yeah. Well, but you know, here's the interesting thing. So as you're filming that, are they giving you instructions in any way, like, hey, let's shoot this again, or let's do? Because you know that's the one thing you hear about reality TV is there's a lot of, okay, this is your spontaneous reaction.
Right.
Now let's do that again.
Well, and you know, you'd have some producer. Yes, you would have a producer or someone standing off screen like, okay, we need you to really look like you're loving it, you know.
Right.
And
You're
I'm like,
whoa.
I don't love it. You know, it's whoever would eat beignets with barbecue anyway.
Yeah.
It was just so kitschy for them to they were just kind of doing this Louisiana thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's why they had video of the gators in front of Bass Pro.
But now the other hand, you get great people that come to town, and you just feel so sorry for them. The Carnival Eats guys came and spent a whole week here during the year that the state fair got pouring thunderstorms every day. They weren't really even able to film. We had to kind of help them put their show together, and that guy was super into it. He was so excited about eating all the crazy things he could find at the state fair, but it was literally a washout, you know. So
here's what's crazy. When I used to have the morning show on another station, we went and we did our show from the state fair, and I basically was the Carnival Eats guy. Like, I just went around, I ate fried butter, I ate fried Twinkies, I ate fried Snickers. Like, anything I could eat, I got my hand on and I ate. And I call it the eats of strength when I go and do stuff like that. The eats of strength. But yeah, and I didn't get paid anything for it, by the way. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Can you stick around for another segment?
Chris Giordano needs to cut the check.
I'll give him credit. He didn't make me pay for parking, and he did give me some coupons. So I got to. Can you
I
stay
would
for
love
another
to
segment?
stay.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
thank you.
Chris J. from the Shreveport Bossier Convention Tourist Bureau is going to stick with us. Again, if you have any questions, you want his thoughts on some stuff, give us a shout. 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll.
Welcome to Walk-On's Bistro and Bar, where every dish starts from scratch. Fresh ingredients bring our food to life. Mouth-watering cuisine, unique flavors, and we're always more than happy to share our Southern charm and culture. A love of life, family, food, friends, fun, sports, and celebrations. Walk-Ons. It's game day with the taste of Louisiana.
Life is all about taking advantage of the opportunities that present themselves and also creating those advantages. And if you are with First Choice Personnel, Nicole, you've got an advantage over everybody else, right?
You do. Actually, once you are registered with us, we're able to send your resume over to our employer as opposed to the employer receiving 600 resumes. You know, you'd be one person opposed to a bunch.
I like that. One person instead of a bunch. First Choice Personnel. Make First Choice your last call. 797-7810. Rogers, are you a guy that likes the house cooler during the daytime, or do you like it cool when you go to Betty Bye?
I like it cool when it's Betty Bye time.
Oh, me too, buddy. Is there not a better feeling than just kind of when you get up in the morning and it's like ice cold after you get out of the sheets and blankets?
It's so cold you don't want to get out of bed, but it made being in bed that much better.
That's what AccuTemp's all about, making being in bed that much better. 861-2255.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. When generic insurance takes hold, one handsome man and one flightless bird are teaming up to save the world. Money. Their message? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Their mission? Savings. Their relationship? Best friends. Say hello to Liberty Mutual's new spokes team. And Doug.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
In general, I'm a win-win guy. When I have to spend hours searching for the right part, it's lose-lose. It's time lost for me and lost time for my crew. That's why I order from Grainger. With product experts that have the answers to my toughest questions, an easy-to-use website to help me find the right product quickly, I can rely on Grainger to make getting supplies for my business as simple and seamless as possible. When it comes to getting things done, it's a win-win when Grainger's got your back. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the sound of the DQ Cheeseburger Lovers deal being calculated by a cheeseburger lover.
2 DQ cheeseburgers. Huh, just $4. 2 DQ doubles with cheese, only $5?
And this is the sound of that cheeseburger lover checking that math.
Wait. 2 DQ cheeseburgers, $4, and 2 DQ doubles with cheese, $5. I'm burger rich.
The DQ Cheeseburger Lovers deal. DQ, happy tastes good. Price and participation may vary.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
It takes both vision and skill to create a pool as unique as it is beautiful. A perfect blend of time-honored craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. The hand, heart, and mind working in perfect sync to create something truly special. A source of timeless relaxation, priceless memories, and endless joy. That is the mission of a master pool builder, and that is the magic of Moorhead Pools.
Who has time to lick a stamp, lick an envelope, write out a check? That's what, 4 minutes right there? Paper cuts on your tongue? Ugh! How about just going to GBT, GibbslandBank.com, and enrolling in Bill Pay? Pay your bills online through your Gibbsland Bank account. And oh, by the way, in the month of May and June, paying 5 accounts with GBT Bill Pay, you're enrolled in the sweepstakes to win $5,000. How about that? Pay bills and win money at GBT, the great banking team.
O'Reilly.
To protect your engine, you have to change the oil. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic truck and SUV motor oil for just $28.95. When your engine works extra hard, give it the protection it needs. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What do you call a truly great beer that's brewed with more taste? Only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs? We call it Miller Lite. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true. Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis 12 fluid ounces, less than 1 gram protein and 0 grams fat.
Hi, I'm Brad Gosley, owner and president of Coldwell Banker Gosley, with your Housing Moment. Northwest Louisiana is one of the most affordable housing markets in the nation. You can get a lot of home for under $200,000, so it's no surprise that these homes are in demand. 1,400 homes have already sold in this price range in 2019, and there are currently about 1,100 to choose from. Want to know what's happening in 25 different communities in Caddo, Bossier, and DeSoto parishes? Click on the crawfish at cbgosley.com. That's cbgosslee.com.
Office independently owned and operated.
1130 The Tiger, Bossier City's home for LSU sports.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
There we go. Working for the weekend, baby. I ever tell you about the time I met Loverboy Raj? Of course I have. I do it every Friday.
Everyone's watching to see what you do.
It's the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. Back on the Patrick Netherton Show, Rogers Hampton, and we're talking to Chris J, who's joined us in studio from the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau. All right, so number one, give us links. How do we get because here's what one of the things I think I'm bad about sometimes is I think I sometimes need a refresher course of what's going on in town. I've told Raj I have like my 5 favorite restaurants, and I pretty much just eat there. Good example, Bistro Byron's. Heard from everybody, Bistro Byron's is terrific. It's great. It's been here for, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I don't know. I can't keep track of time. And I had yet to eat there until like 3 months ago. Well, and I have no reason for not having eaten there. I just didn't. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to finally suck it up and do it. Just go do it. And it was great, and I enjoyed it. But there's so many of these new places that are opening up that I just forget to go try.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. It's hard to keep up. I do my best to keep my eyes peeled for new places. I spend a lot of time just kind of combing Facebook on my personal time.
Right.
Because I kind of nerd out over restaurants. I don't know. One thing I've been wanting to ask you,
yes,
Patrick.
Please,
have you had ribs from Louisiana Smokehouse on Joella yet?
I have not.
It is a food truck, but this young man knows what he is doing.
Okay.
And I mean, they are fantastic.
I'll check them out. I have a list actually that I want to. This would have been the good week to do it. Unfortunately, I'm in Dallas the entire week, but I do have a list of local / regional barbecue joints that people have told me about. Like, I've tried everything here in town, but I have not had that one. That's a food truck. But there are a lot of places I want to go try. Some of them are outside of the Shreveport Bossier area. But it's interesting because I'm now a Texas barbecue guy. Like I'm 100% Texas barbecue. So when you start getting the snobbery that comes about, and when I go to some places and it's not Texas barbecue and the brisket is sliced like roast beef or whatever, or they cut the bark off of it, and I just I can't do it.
I get so mad about the cutting the bark and the fat off.
Yeah.
I want the bark and the fat. That's what I'm paying for.
That's right. Have you been to Riverport, by the way, in Jefferson?
I have. Yeah, I love it.
So good.
I love it.
So good. And unfortunately, when people ask me what's the best barbecue joint in Shreveport, I say it's in Jefferson, Texas. I don't feel good about it. And actually, I'm trying my best to get him to come open up a place in Shreveport.
The Bodacious in Hallsville's awesome. The Bodacious on Moberly.
And Longview. Yeah, that's the one.
Bad Wolf in Ruston is tremendous.
I've heard that's one of the places I want to get to. And I know he just came down and did a thing for the 4th of July,
and he did like pork belly burn-ins. He did all sorts of cool stuff that we don't really see around here.
I went and did the guy that was at Crawdaddy's.
Bitter Creek.
Bitter Creek. I knew it was something Creek. Bitter Creek. I went and tried his, and the brisket was really good. He knew what he was doing with the brisket. It was some of the best I've had. The ribs were a little bit iffy, and actually, to his credit, I kind of left a review on my Facebook page. He responded, and we kind of corresponded a little bit back and forth, and I said, look, here's what I thought, and he said, look, it varies. It was a pit he wasn't familiar with. I told him there's one time is not good enough to judge something. And that's actually kind of a question I was interested in. How long before you make a solid judgment on a place to say this place is good or not good? Because we all know if you go hit it in the first month, there can be all kind of logistical problems. You don't know what's going on. How much time or how many visits do you give a place before you really give a verdict?
Well, Patrick, the truth is it's time for me to kind of own up to this. And I've never claimed to be a food critic, but I really want to say and underline it, I'm not really a food critic.
Right.
Because I do have like $15 a week that I got as a stipend to eat on. You know what I mean? I understand my limitations.
Right.
But also I know I'm not trying to be too hoity-toity about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing, for example, that happened last week, I just ate one time at Pita de Novo, but I had this crazy awesome, I mean, you're going to laugh at me. People make fun of me all the time for this kind of stuff, but they are serving a Palestinian kind of fried chicken. It's got all these Mediterranean spices that it's fried in, and man, it's the bomb.
I believe it.
And I said to myself, I don't need to come back again. I don't need to do this 3 times. This is out of this world, and I try to be anonymous because I don't want to walk in and go, hey, I'm the tourist bureau guy, because then I'm going to get a plate that looks way better than everybody else's. But sometimes something's so good, I just do it once and I review it because I'm just so impressed.
Yeah, I actually did that with Jerry the King Lawler when we had him on the show a few weeks ago. I went up there and I didn't introduce myself to anyone, and I knew who the manager was, and he and I had spoken. He knew I would be doing the show from there, but I just walked in and ate.
Yeah,
because I didn't want him to go out of his way to put anything special out there, do anything like that. I just wanted to see what's a normal, what are they normally serving. And then after I got done, I walk up and I'm like, hey, I'm Patrick. He goes, man, I would have comped your meal. Like, I would have got you something. I was like, no, that's what I didn't want to have happen.
Yes.
I wanted to be able to give it a legitimate review. And by the way, I like their ribs. I think their ribs are very good. I like their sausage. It's a good kielbasa, which I always appreciate. The brisket, I'm not expecting a Memphis-style barbecue place to have good brisket.
Right,
I'm just not. Right. But the ribs and the sausage were good. The pulled pork was pretty good. That's what I expect out of a Memphis-style barbecue place. High Rail says 15 a week is not enough. Well, you ain't kidding. I mean, unless you want to send him some PayPal or something,
and I mean, a lot of it, I'm just, it's meals that I eat on my own dime, and the last thing on earth I want is for some small business to start giving me free stuff.
Right.
Like, that really burns me up, and when I can't stop it from happening, it actually makes me physically, angry. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm trying to spend money with you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you get real mad about some free stuff, just send it over to me. I'll take care of it for you.
But can I tell you a truth, Patrick, real quick? Yeah. It is always the small businesses, like the teeny tiny ones, that want to give you free stuff. And the big ones, the ones that, are selling $3 million worth of stuff a year, they could take it or leave it. Yeah. And it's like, guys, I know this is money from your kids' school supplies. I am paying for this plate. And that's how I see it.
Yeah. Give us some links.
So 20by49.com is where I do most of my food writing. 20by49 is a blog that I officially write for the Tourist Bureau, but I write from the heart. If I don't like something, typically I just don't review it.
Yeah.
I would rather do that than trash something, especially on the clock for the Tourist Bureau. That's the last thing I should be doing. But definitely. I also have a platform called Stuffed and Busted. That's stuffedandbusted.com. It's a joke about stuffed shrimp, and Shrimp Busters is the name. But it's where I can write about things that don't really fit under the tourism umbrella. Like, if I do feel the need to critique something, I will do it there, because I don't want to be, like I said, the Tourist Bureau guy critiquing how this brisket looks.
Right.
But if I need to do that, I can do it at stuffedandbusted.com.
Yeah, it's interesting because people who know me can see the way I write when I review. Because most of the stuff I talk about is barbecue. That's kind of where my expertise is. I'm not going out and reviewing a bunch of Chinese restaurants or Indian food or anything like that. But I have some expertise in barbecue, and so people will parse through what I write and go, "Oh, you didn't really like that place, did you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but you can't tell."
I've gotten that too.
You know, like I write it in such a way where I'm not going to just trash a place. I might not mention something, or may just mention that, hey, you know, here's some brisket and sausage. The sausage was really good, and just never mention what the brisket was. You know, there's a way to parse through it. But I'm with you. Like, I don't want to be a negative guy. Like, I don't want to write negative, even though I'm not being paid by anyone to promote anything. I still don't want to write negatively about someone who's trying to do good work.
Right, especially if it's an independent business.
Yeah.
The restaurant industry has gotten so saturated in this town, and a lot of the mom and pops are really, they have a hard enough time as it is without some, you know, wannabe a food critic on the internet shooting them down. That's how I feel. But I understand there's also a place for honesty. And, you know, if you say, look, this was overcooked, or this really isn't up to par, you know, you need to let them know that. You would be doing them a disservice not to.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, you know, giving feedback in a constructive way.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do. Like I told the guy that was from Bitter Creek, I said, look, the ribs weren't quite there, and he said, you know, I know, and I said, look, I understand. I'm not mad at you for it. There are a lot of variables that come with cooking barbecue. That's for sure. On the entertainment side. It seems like, again, much like the food, it seems like the entertainment's growing. People are going back to municipal and playing a lot. We're getting good concerts still at the CenturyLink. There's, now we're getting some of the local clubs are having a lot of bands that come in and perform, and it just feels like, again, the entertainment industry is rising in Shreveport a good bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that has kind of the same, it has to do with the same, an extension of that local pride we were talking about. Yeah. Like, I imagine you know Winston Hall. Do you know Winston Hall?
I know the name.
He's a local piano player, but he also gives music history tours, and that's something we've needed really badly. The Shreveport Municipal Auditorium has once again got it where people can pay money and take a guided tour a few times a month of the building. Now, that wasn't even possible for several years there, and SMG has gotten it possible again, so I'm so thankful for that. I mean, that is to me, I know this sounds way oversimplified, but that is the one thing we've got to do right in this town, is be able to give somebody a tour of Shreveport Municipal Auditorium if they drive in from some other, faraway place, especially Europeans. For some reason, I've worked at the Tourist Bureau for about 10 years now. Europeans still care very much about Elvis, and they still very much want to see that building. So now that we've gotten these tours up again, I think that is a wonderful thing. I think people like Winston just banging that drum and saying our music history is something to be proud of, they have made that happen.
You mean playing that piano?
Yeah, exactly. Banging those keys.
Yeah. Rogers hates
If you haven't seen him live, though, you actually remind me of one another. Y'all would get along very well.
Oh well,
you should have him on for a segment.
I feel very bad that he reminds you.
You should have him on because he's got this incredible energy and this depth of knowledge about local music history, and just the desire to see it shared with the rest of the world.
Yeah, I have incredible energy for 2 hours out of the day. The other 22 hours, I'm a slug. All right, talking to Chris J. from the Shreveport-Bossier Convention Tourist Bureau. Now that Shreveport seems to be, we were talking about coming in, the food prize, the music prize, the film prize, all of that stuff that's going on. Do you think there is a signature event for Shreveport now, or have we gotten so many things that are all worthy of the time that it seems like every season has a signature event now?
This is such a good question, and I was not at all prepared for it. Probably the thing that I feel is the most Shreveport, Louisiana in Shreveport for me, and I'm answering personally, is the Crew of Highland Parade.
Yeah.
When I have company come in from out of town to do something in Shreveport, and I know they have options for all these other places they could go, and they say, I want to go to the Highland Parade, I want to catch a hot dog, you probably won't see me till 6 p.m. I'll probably be asleep on your back patio when you get home. Like, it's just, that event has become a thing. It really, truly has.
Yeah.
I mean, finally, I interact a lot with the State Office of Tourism, and they finally have gotten it too. That's the parade with the hot dogs. That's the parade where you just go party in people's yards. Yes, yeah. So I feel really strongly about the Crew of Highland Parade, although I do think our Mardi Gras in general is better than it gets credit for being. But I really love the Crew of Highland Parade. I would think that would be my vote.
I mean, here's the thing. If you just want a guy to eat a hot dog and pass out after drinking a bunch of alcohol, Rogers does that literally every weekend. That Rogers' house is the crew of Highland Parade every single weekend. Sometimes he just passes out in the yard, like it just if he leaves the house at all.
I do think that a couple of our biggest festivals, and I'm speaking as me personally.
Yeah.
I work at the Tourist Bureau, but this is my opinion. I think a couple of our festivals are in a little bit of an identity crisis moment where they've kind of got to figure out who they're for and what they want to do. You know, I mean, in some of these festivals where they bring a little bit of music for everybody,
right,
and it ends up being a festival for nobody.
Right.
You know, so I'm really, I'm hoping that some new life with the staff and some new energy at some of those festivals and new people on their boards will mean that we start to see a little more contemporary music programmed in a lot of those festivals.
How do we, as a member of the public, how do we get the brochure that you were talking about that you have cultivated?
Shreveport-Bossier.org. I should have said that from the get-go.
Well, I'm going to link it on the Facebook page and on the Twitter feed. I'll throw a link up there.
There's on the top right of Shreveport-Bossier.org. There's a brochures tab. I think it's actually called My Trip. I probably need to get that changed to brochures. But you can download or just view online the brochure that I'm talking about, which is called Eat Here, A Food Lover's Guide to Shreveport-Bossier.
There you go.
And we do a different version every year. Each year's got a different 20 celebrated bites is what we call it. So things that are kind of famous local dishes. I've done this 5 years now, so we've made 100 celebrated bites, and I'm running out. But it's still it's my favorite project to work on every single year, and I hope people will look at it. I'm proud of it. I think we did a good job of representing Shreveport-Bossier.
Finch says "Viva la Film Prize," by the way, which is a cool. It's a great event. I mean, it's really
might
awesome.
be our Prize Fest might be our signature event now.
Yeah.
I mean, that weekend it'd be hard to find a more fun weekend in Shreveport-Bossier.
Yeah. By the way, we're I don't want to spoil anything because I don't know if it's going to come to fruition, but one of our former guests, Roger Mooking of Cooking Channel, at least they're going to contact him about potentially coming in and being a judge. I know that. I don't know if it'll come to fruition or not, but that's just a contact I made out of nowhere, and all of a sudden my friends at the film prize or the prize were like, "Hey, you want to bring him in for the food prize?" I'm
right.
like, "Hey, you contact him. Go ahead.
You never know who you're going to meet that weekend. It's amazing. And Gregory Kallenberg and his family and his team have put so much of their own time and sweat and energy and money into that. It's admirable.
All
we
right.
need like 5 more Gregorys. And then we're set.
I mean, I feel like we need 3 more Rogers while we're at it. Rogers also feels like he needs 3 more Rogers so he can go home and go to bed. All right, final thing before I let you go. When you hear people talk about crime and potholes and infrastructure and we need more police, and we had the vote on the big arena that they were talking about for the minor league team. I mean, I know you're not necessarily in the political side of things, but is it disheartening sometimes the way that Shreveporters talk about their own city?
Yes, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge that it's in their lived experience, it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you've had your car broken into 3 times in downtown Shreveport, and you hear me say that downtown Shreveport's a great, safe place to visit, you're going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to deal with that and live with that. But I think ultimately what it comes down to, and I'm glad you asked about this.
Yeah.
I'm a cheerleader for the city. And when people...
Yeah, and I appreciate you wearing the cheerleader outfit when you came in. That was very nice.
When people...
Your bloomers are terrific.
When people get upset with me, whether it's on social media or in real life, about just singing the praises of the town and not talking about the bad stuff, I want to say, is that what you want your Tourist Bureau guy doing?
Right.
You want me out there talking about crime? Because if I do, you should fire me.
Right.
I'm supposed to talk about the good stuff, but I gotta tell you, it is hard. You know, my job is to put positive stuff about Shreveport on Facebook. Guess what? Sometimes the comments
aren't great.
And I have to deal with those in a way that is professional and human. But anyway, I think in the end, Shreveport's gonna rebuild its culture, its community. I think we've been through some hard times, but we've been through them before.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like we're in somewhat of a renaissance in terms of food and culture anyway.
I agree.
Whatever the infrastructure issues, crime issue, whatever, but it does feel like in terms of the actual personality of the city, we're certainly seeing a lot more positive than we are negative right now. A lot of things growing.
It's nice to hear that because I feel that way too.
Yeah. Chris J., thanks, man.
Oh, man, this was my pleasure. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah. take the cheerleading suit off now. You can put some jeans on or something.
What is up with you guys? I was driving here and y'all were talking about the Munchkinland people.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was getting into.
No, that's actually that's what I said. I think you probably heard on there. I was like, I don't know if Chris listening. I don't know what he thinks he's. I don't know if he knows what he's about to walk into. I tell everyone, look, this is not your average sports talk show around here.
It's clearly not.
We do a lot of different stuff. We talk about a lot of different stuff. My mind works in different ways than most other people, and not only that, but I really do like to talk about things that have to do with outside the world of sports. That's why I talk a lot of barbecue, a lot of food, but I also do like to bring in someone to talk about what's going on in town. You know, this is the kind of stuff I think that makes for a well-rounded show. If I just sat here and was telling you about the third offensive tackle for the Jaguars, everybody'd be asleep. But if I'm telling you, hey, here's some great events that are going. By the way, what are some good events that are going on?
Well, if you don't mind me doing
please.
Talking sports for a second,
yes.
I really hope people will give a chance, consider coming out to support Team USA, to support the U.S. Women's National Volleyball team at CenturyLink Center, August 2nd through the 4th. If you want to, there's a documentary film to be made here. I think you should make it. But
that would require Rogers to leave his home.
There are teams coming in from like Kazakhstan and Bulgaria and all these places to play volleyball at the CenturyLink Center. Team USA is going to play each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and this will determine who gets the spots in the Olympics in Tokyo 2020.
That's crazy.
So please consider coming. It's $25. I think they're cheaper tickets for kids and veterans and military. But anywho, it's very affordable.
Hey, get one of them volleyball players on the show.
I will.
Yeah,
I will send some emails.
Yeah. Or better yet, can we do like the hockey people? Can we take crawfish, like plastic crawfish out there, and start throwing them on the court when they just won the first set? Here comes all the crawfish.
That actually might equivalent to like a threat of violence in Kazakhstan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bulgarians will find that to be offensive. I don't know. Heck, Bulgarians might find being Ben Bozier offensive for all I know. Who knows? Hey-o. No, look, we're positive here.
I don't know if y'all know about GeekCon. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard of this. Speaking of, Rogers, we have breaking news. Breaking news, Rogers.
Breaking news.
That's right. GeekCon breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Kate Flannery from The Office is out. She was unable to make it. Oscar Nunez from The Office is already in there. But guess what? Stanley's on his way here from The Office. Leslie D. Baker, who played Stanley in The Office, will be here at GeekCon replacing Kate Flannery. So there you go. I like Stanley better anyway. Chubby guy, always Jimmy. Always.
This year's going to be great, I think.
Yeah, Oscar Nunez and now Stanley, Leslie Baker will be here. So I'm excited. That's good news.
I'm just hoping. Can you tell me, will LeVar Burton read a book? Will he read a book at GeekCon?
I don't know.
Because that would be amazing.
I might throw a book at him at some point just to read this. Yeah. Duck. LeVar's one of my guys. I grew up on Reading Rainbow and Geordie LaForge on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Like that's what raised me. As a matter of fact, BBC America has a Star Trek The Next Generation marathon every Monday. And I still, when I get up, first thing I do is look on BBC America. Boom, there's the Star Trek. I don't care what episode it is, I'm watching it. And I love LeVar Burton, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we get to interview him.
That would be awesome.
Because I'd love to have LeVar Burton on the show.
I'm legitimately going to geek out when I meet him.
Yeah.
So this is a great year for GeekCon. We've been helping with that. Some just doing social media, blogging, things like that, content marketing. The Highland Jazz and Blues Festival just announced their lineup September 14th. Two co-headliners, Big Sam's Funky Nation and Margie Perez, who are both big hits right now in New Orleans. So they're going to be bringing a bunch of New Orleans flavor to that festival this year.
Nice.
Of course, it kind of always does have that feel.
Yeah.
The only place you'll ever see Preservation Hall play outside in 98-degree heat. These guys are like 100 years old. But it was still an incredible show they put on. So those are some of the big things that are coming up.
Yeah, well, we're definitely looking forward to GeekCon. Obviously, our big boss man is the guy. So that doesn't help. That doesn't hurt either when we want to do that.
So can you get me free parking? Or
you're going to have to talk to the city about that, brother.
Nice,
free for the whole
really?
weekend?
Okay, cool.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to say you work downtown. What are you asking me for?
I'm just kidding.
I work out here in the western outpost of town. You're downtown. You should be able to handle that. Chris J. from the Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourist Bureau. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right. Take a break. We'll come back. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We haven't talked about sports yet, so why start now? It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Chill and Hill, Ashley Ridge in Shreveport, 798-4325. No better proponent maybe than the guy sitting next to me for cryotherapy in the chamber they have there, Adam. What is it that you feel when you step out of the cryotherapy
You feel
chamber?
refreshed. You feel ready to go back out for that next indoor soccer game or that next softball game. Maybe you've got a CrossFit competition coming up, right?
You're looking at me?
Yeah.
Oh, I would use it for after lawn mowing, after maybe a tennis game, maybe a little golf. It really is. Yes. It makes you feel refreshed.
Absolutely.
Chill and Hill.
You know you're in the market for a new car when, and definitely when.
Congratulations on the twins.
Luckily, when it comes to auto loans, Navy Federal Credit Union offers competitive rates, a pre-approval check, and up to 100% financing. So when you know you're ready for a better, Navy Federal is ready to help. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Open to the armed forces, the DoD, veterans, and their families, insured by NCUA.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
They are the kings of ham in Shreveport. We know that. Honey-baked ham. Speaking of the king.
Mama, that's right, man. They're the king of the honey-baked hams in Shreveport, Mama.
Whatever gathering it is, whether it's a family gathering, whether it's a holiday, or whether it's just I want a ham, the king knows.
Honey, please give me a honey-baked ham.
Southfield Shopping Center in Shreveport, honey-baked ham.
Hi, this is Russell Hall.
And this is Clint McCullough. We are with Bayou Bell Waste. We are the hometown dumpster service providers. Started back in 1997, we are local, and we are all about service.
So whether you are needing a dumpster at your office, maybe you have a home renovation project, or you're looking for weekly service, we have the dumpster for you. We have 2 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 20 yards, and 30-yard roll-offs. Call us today at 318-671-9900.
Like us on Facebook or reach us at BayouBellWaste.com.
At JCPenney, when the sun's out, the sale's on. Friday through Sunday, grab sizzling savings across the store. Like 60% off select swimwear for her and 40 to 50% off select shorts and tees for him and her. Plus, take an extra 20% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Check the app wallet for more savings. Hurry in for the hottest summer deals for 3 days only at JCPenney. Offers valid 7/19 to 7/21. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. See store at jcp.com for details.
The first thing every morning.
Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches.
The last thing every night.
Enjoy them anytime.
Is it time to redo your back patio? Or what about finally getting to those little projects finished around your home? Call H2 Home Renovations. Check out some of their work online at h2homerenovations.com. They'll have your home looking its best in no time. Give them a call and ask them about financing your home renovation needs too. Find them online at h2homerenovations.com. H2 Home Renovations. Reimagine your home.
Locally owned and operated, Chevy Land has just a cornucopia